I cannot believe that Tuchel is going to England. I cannot believe it. And more reports from the Times, in-depth reports about where this started, why Tuchel did not take the Manchester United job, are now all coming out of the woodwork. Where does this leave Manchester United going forward if things continue to go wrong? And why did Ineos not convince Tuchel to take the job, even in the summer? So we can forget about the conversations that have gone on. They already knew that Tuchel wanted the England job. This is Forever United TV. We have got a shed load to talk about. It is a later show today. I want to go into the Fergie stuff again. I did a video earlier on today. I was down in London recording in TalkSport Studios. If you all follow the channel, you would have known. I did let you all know earlier on. So sorry it's a late one. But if you're in bed, if you're up late, there is nothing else on TV. So let's get into this. We're going to talk Fergie. We're going to talk about Tuchel. We're going to talk about what happens next. Looking ahead towards the weekend and what's going on there. We're going to talk about the rumours going around about certain targets United are looking at as well, which are having second thoughts. Is there uncertainty within the Manchester United squad already? What the hell is going on at Manchester United? What a day for news. What a day to be out and about and not being able to get in the studio and talk to you guys. But I'm here now. We always make it happen. We always start talking no matter what time it is, no matter where we are. We get the content out there, everybody. We're freestyling again, pretty much like United's football at the moment. Welcome along. Get your comments in the live chat, everybody. Get involved in the conversation. This is our show. We are debating it tonight. I had some strong opinions about Sir Alex Ferguson earlier on. There were more reports coming out on top of what else was said earlier on as well on the Fergie situation. A few people have opened their traps as well on what's going on. So get your comments in. Let me know how you feel about that. If you didn't if you didn't reply to the video earlier on, get in the chat now. Make sure you give the video a like and get subscribing. Let's get into the show, everybody. Oh, by the way, hit your bell notification button to make sure you miss out on no content from Forever United TV. Let's get into it. Hello, what's happening, everyone? I've missed you all. I have, honestly. It's been a long old day travelling up and down the country from Manchester to London and back in a day to get the recordings done and get some content done out there as well. Loved it. Great. Had some great insight into what's going on. I was actually around when the news was breaking regarding Thomas Tuchel within TalkSport Studios about him being favourite. Just as I was leaving, we got the news that Thomas Tuchel could be announced within the next few hours, and then bang, I'm driving home. Thomas Tuchel has decided to agree to take the England manager's job. In principle, he is pretty much signed, sealed and delivered. We have got a German managing an England team. Now, that sounds strange on its own, doesn't it? It does. So as an England fan, first of all, let's get this out of the way. Look, I don't know where else we're going to go. The whole setup with England is an absolute joke anyway for me. I have a big issue with how England are running. The St George's Park thing and everything like that, in playing from within. Scrapped, gone for the most expensive manager there is out there, paying him more than any other manager in England's history as well, and he's a German. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know why it's an issue. I think England should do all right with Tuchel, because you all know I like Tuchel. It just feels weird on the England side of things, and that's all I've got to say about it. I really don't care about England right now. My priorities and my concerns are nothing to do with them. Couldn't give a monkeys right now about what's happening with England. The bigger concern is what's happening with Tuchel and what happened with Manchester United, because that is officially now a manager off the table. Done. Tuchel no longer, not a chance in being Manchester United manager. It's as simple as that. There is another manager now that we thought we could have got our hands on, and when things go wrong with Ten Hag and we're looking for a manager, he's no longer there. The thing is that I want to look at, and this is, and what was being discussed. So Matt Lawton of The Times was the one talking about this all day. I set off in the journey down to London this morning, and it was Pep Guardiola for the England job. And then later on, Tuchel started to drift in and sneak his little name in there, and they'd made contact with him. So apparently, Thomas Tuchel put his name into the England hat in the summer when Manchester United were discussing terms with the football club and possibly taking over the United job. So we basically lost out to England. We lost Tuchel to England. He decided to leave United. He decided to forget about what United were offering on the table. Wasn't appealing enough. He decided to take the England job instead of the Manchester United job. He was fully down, and the reports are from Matt Lawton of The Times, who was talking about it this morning. He made himself available for England and what was on offer ahead of anything else. So we were talking to Tuchel. He was talking to England. and he decided to go the England way, the international football way. Now, you can look at that and say that, look, we are not as appealing attraction right now to a manager that's probably managed at the top level for a few different clubs and wanted to break away from the norm. It seems a weird appointment in terms of what Tuchel is going to do. Like, if he's this top coach and his major problems are hierarchies and falling out with people behind the scenes, then he doesn't seem like the right man for England, because surely like these coaches and these guys who like to be on the ground would like to be managing players week in, week out. And it just makes no sense with it being international and all the breaks that are involved with Tuchel. So really, it didn't make no sense to me, him taking it. Well, I mean, England will do better with Tuchel than they will with Gareth Southgate, I'm sure of it. But the problem that we've got is like, how did we not manage to convince Thomas Tuchel? And this is why, when the stories came out the other day about Tuchel being ready to come back to management, and I was fully thinking that it might be United and we're actually in the box seat now. It's not. It was for England. And Tuchel is gone. He's gone by the bye-bye. No more Thomas Tuchel for Manchester United to jump onto. And we can officially put the story to bed tonight. So all of the people that didn't like Tuchel can be happy. Everyone who wanted another option there for Manchester United, if it goes wrong with Ten Hag, that's there and that's gone as well. Like, it's over. Tuchel is going to England and has rejected Manchester United. There's no other way of putting it. You can put it as bluntly as you want or as softly as you want. The facts are there. From what has been reported, United were looking to bring him in the summer, and this is why we've not gone back in again. And the reports that were coming out are probably of the false mark, apart from the fact that Tuchel was ready to come back and had enough time off. He's going to be the England manager instead. Holy Lule, what's going on there? Honestly, look, it's done. It's finished now. Tuchel's to bed. We've got to move forward, and it's Ten Hag in charge of United versus Brentford this weekend. So that's what we're dealing with, and that's what we've got to look forward to now. But other things and other news going on, which I wanted to talk about tonight, in particular the Fergie stuff. By the way, Gary Burton, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by London. Thank you very much, London. Make sure you guys please keep giving the video a like as well, get them up, and obviously make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. If you are tuning in a bit later, again, apologies, just a bit of a late one. I didn't want to miss out on one live show today at least, so we're getting it in later on. If you are just joining in now and you've seen the actual video come up, yes, it's not normal schedule and it isn't our norm, but we're just doing it tonight anyway. But Sir Alex Ferguson, let's get into this story, because this is one I did earlier on. I did a video as I was on the go earlier on talking about Ferguson and what's actually happening with him being let go by Manchester United or relieved of his duties. Let's just clear some things up. He is still going to be at Manchester United. He is still going to have his box. He's going to have his executive box there. Everything is still there for him. He's just not doing his ambassadorial role anymore. I think people are just building this up to be something that it really isn't with Fergie. And he's just not being paid $2.1 million a year. It's no real issue, is it? Maybe Sir Alex Ferguson cannot fulfill them duties anymore as an ambassador. Let's be honest, he's gone past 80 now, and he probably isn't in a fit state to want to be flying here, there, and everywhere all over the world. I don't know. Look, but I've been hearing people calling this a disgrace, calling this the worst decision in Manchester United's history. Look, yeah, they could have maybe handled it a little bit better and broke the news, and the Athletic have gone full in on this and broke it before anybody else, and it always makes it look worse when it doesn't actually come from the club. When it's dealing with Sir Alex Ferguson or any legend of the club, and it doesn't come out of the club first, and they're the ones breaking the news, then it always looks worse than what it is. And sadly for United, we're in another situation again. Everything is absolutely crap at the club at the moment. Nothing's going well. And then you get this bombshell. It's like some people would say, for God's sake, United, read the room at least. But they didn't break it. Apparently, this is an amicable decision. I was just listening to people on the radio there talking about how this is a disgrace to Manchester United. And I think it was Stuart Pearce who said it on the radio. Look, he probably brings in that amount of money tenfold. Well, you're guessing at that, Stuart, aren't you? You have no idea. And if you think the second richest man in Britain hasn't worked out the sums about what Sir Alex Ferguson can bring in for what he's being paid, then you really just need to sit back down in your seat and have a think about what you're saying before you open your mouth. Because Sir Jim Ratcliffe's not a stupid man. If it was financially, and Sir Alex Ferguson was bringing in that amount of money tenfold, or bringing in absolutely millions because of his ambassadorial role and his advertisement for the club, or whatever it is that he's doing right now, then you wouldn't be taking it away from him, would you? But Sir Alex Ferguson's agreed to it. He's still in at every game. He's still got his executive box. He's still doing the same things that we all love to see, which is him turning up to Old Trafford and having whatever he wants and being there, and the red carpet rolled out for him. That's been made quite clear in all of these reports as well. But I feel like people are just jumping on to the negative side of this rather than looking at the reality of it. Are you bothered about what he does? Was you bothered about what he's done before? Or are you just looking to have a go at Ineos because they've made a big decision? Or is it just a normal business transaction for them and they've just made a little bit of common sense in saving a bit of money? Like, Sir Alex Ferguson is going to keep on turning up to Old Trafford to every game that he wants. He's just not going to be paid 2.1 million. It's not like he needs the money right now, is it? I just have to be a bit real about it as well. And yes, I can understand the nostalgia road, and I can understand people not being happy about it if it was really slaughtering Sir Alex Ferguson and really going in on him. I get it, I do. I understand it completely, but I just don't think it is how people are building it up to be. Now, there is another story that's come out which isn't really to my liking, and this is where I've got a little bit of a problem with it, because this one has come up later on, and it's come from Mike Delaney. And he is saying that Sir Alex Ferguson and certain other dignitaries at Manchester United have now been told that they will not be allowed to enter the dressing room. In fact, he says Sir Alex Ferguson and the Manchester United Football Board have been asked to not enter the dressing room at Old Trafford. Now, this was like this sort of role that they had at the football club, and they were obviously allowed to go down. The club are basically saying, look, that it's now going to be fully restricted in terms of everybody and who comes into the changing room. Have we got a problem with that? Are we making a meal out of it again? Is it a real big deal? Look, I'm sure if Sir Alex Ferguson asked if he can go down into the changing room after the managers had words with his players and everything's done and finished in the game, then they'll let him go down there. Again, though, I think it's just another attempt to have a go at Manchester United and Ineos right now. And I'm not defending them. I'm not. There's certain things that I've not liked that Ineos have done, and you all know about them. I'm not going to talk about them. They're glaringly obvious, of course. But with this one, I just don't think it's a big story. I really don't think it's a big story. And I think everybody's clamouring around for a bit of a headline for Manchester United within the media right now, and they're going right in on this one. I don't see it. I really don't. If they're telling Fergie that he can never go in the changing room again, I've got a little bit of an issue with that. I have. But they are just coming down on things, and they're trying to strict things up a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily all directed at Sir Alex Ferguson. I think it's everyone. It says board members. And I think that's what we need to remember in all this. So that's everyone, not just Fergie in particular, and everyone's just going in on him at Ineos. It's not the case. Sir Jim Radcliffe isn't stupid. He understands what's happening. And it all comes down to this whole situation not being handled very well. And again, a mistake from the club and the PR and everything that this has been released with. I think this is the problem. Sir Alex Ferguson should have the keys to Old Trafford. I just don't think he should be paid 2.1 million to do it. And I don't think he's bothered about the money either, which is why it's come out that it is all amicable. Look, you don't need to be giving him 2 million a year to do what he's doing. Turn up to Old Trafford. Let him have his say in the changing room afterward. Obviously, after everything's been done officially, I don't think he's going to walk in there in the middle of Ten Hag's speech to the players and say, listen, Baldy, this is how it should be done. You're not going to get anything like that, are you? You're just going to get Fergie coming in, saying hello, obviously maybe making sure the players realise that there are standards still at this football club and big names are actually watching and expecting a little bit more. I don't know. Like, he's not going to come in and give the players a pep talk, is he? He's not going to come in and give them the hairdryer treatment. So I don't think this will be something that sticks. I don't think it is as big as what it's been made out to be. Fergie can have a stroll around wherever he wants, I feel. I think he's earned that right. The story is, like, he isn't going to have that big wage and he's not going to be paid massive amounts of money by the club. If you are skimping around the rest of the staff at Manchester United, cutting lunches, cutting all sorts of little things, it doesn't look good if you've got Sir Alex Ferguson sat there on over 2 million, does it? And no, don't get me wrong, and also Alex Ferguson's standing at the football club and where it is and how important he is to the club and how he has inspired a football club going forward and built the foundations and what we're trying to build on top of today. But 2 million is just a little bit too much, I feel, and I just don't think it's necessary, that's all. But really, I'll go back to it and I'll just say it. I just feel like it's just been blown up into unnecessary sort of headlines, I feel, in all of this. I'm going to come to the chat and see what you're all saying. Jack Harrison, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by Tom. Let's get into some general chat from the top of the show, because we covered quite a bit there in the first 15 minutes. The Honest Tiger says that twice he said no to United. It was never going to happen. Like I said before, if it be Southgate next season. No, Southgate has ruled himself out, mate. He isn't going to be managing for over a year now, so Southgate's not coming in. So we can safely say that at least is a bonus in all of this. It's going to be Southgate, Adam. No, it's not. Carmen, another one who thinks it's Southgate. We have enough toxic players at our club, says Sadiq. I don't know who he's talking about in terms of bringing back there. Good for Manchester United. Then we still can get Thomas Frank. Is he good enough again? No, I mean, you don't just go and pick out anybody willy-nilly. He's never been tested. Skilliano, did Sir Alex Ferguson want to stop being ambassador, or was it forced by Ineos? It was a mutual agreement approached by Ineos and Sir Jim Radcliffe himself, so not his merry men. He approached Sir Alex Ferguson himself, according to the reports, and it was a discussion between Sir Alex and Sir Jim Radcliffe, and it was mutual between both. So anyone who says it was forced upon him is mistaken, badly mistaken. Disgusting to a living legend. I don't know, Ewan. I really don't know. He's just not going to have the money on top of what he's already got. He's still going to be getting decent sort of access within Manchester United. That's not being taken away. He's still going to be there, so we don't need to worry about that. Cantona was scathing about it, says Skilliano. I seen that one. I just don't think that everyone's read into it properly, and I think this again has been driven by the headlines that have come in. It's not what it is. It doesn't read the same in reality as what people are putting it out there in the media as. He has still got his executive role. He's still got his box. He's still going to be in as many games as he wants to. He's got an 8-seater box there, which he hosts many people in every single game he goes to. That stays the same. The only thing that's different is the money. And I don't think that's as much of a big deal. I really don't. I think it's unnecessary. And people are just worrying about it, overly worrying about it. Agreed, Adam. Drama from the media. Logically right decision. He's welcome to attend games or Carrington, just not getting paid a fortune to do it. Yep, Sim. So Bobby didn't get 2 million, so why did Fergie? Sir Matt Busby left with his house and nothing else. So, yeah, there's different ways of looking at it, and everyone's got an opinion on it. I think people are just not happy with United at the moment and are really ready to jump onto anything that they feel is taking something away from the football club. I seen someone tweeted out earlier on, I think it was quite a big account as well, and it was that the Glazers are still taking money out of this football club, and yet we are trying to take money off a living legend who has built this football club. Now, the Glazers were the one giving him the money, so we can take the Glazers out of it. It's Ineos and Sir Jim Radcliffe who have taken the money off Sir Alex Ferguson, not the Glazers. They're the ones making the big calls at the moment. So let's not bring the Glazers into any debate or argument when we don't need to. It's not necessary right now, so let's just leave them out of the whole conversation. People always bring in the Glazers when there's something bad going on. And yes, let's not forget, Sir Alex Ferguson was paid well by the Glazers, probably because he covered up all of the crap that they were, in the way that they were running Manchester United, because he did cover up a lot of the shit that was going on. I love Sir Alex Ferguson, but it's right to do what they have done. He will always be a legend. He will. Louise says, I can't understand people having a problem with an entirely logical decision. True. Again, Louise talking sense to me there. The big Lebowski says, you are naive if you think that this isn't just Ineos cost-cutting. Look up what he does when he takes over companies. He is a career asset stripper. Well, it's a bit different with it being a football club. Like, we knew that they were going to cut costs. They said it all along. They were going to trim it off. This is the first season with Ineos in charge. Let's see how it progresses through the years. Are we just that impatient to see how Ineos actually work and operate because of what we've seen before with the Glazers? Are we just wanting things to happen too quickly when really it's not going to? It was never going to. We all said all along, look, Ineos are not going to be able to come in and click the finger and everything works for Manchester United with a little bit of investment. We know it's not going to happen. So really, when you look at what they're doing, it's going to need at least 5 to 10 years to see full fruition of what their plans are, and Manchester United running smoothly, and hopefully Manchester United not having to spend fortunes on players because we're producing our own, and maybe just handpicking the odd good player here and there. How long will it take for Ineos to start operating and maybe United turning a profit again? God knows. God knows. Gray says, if all the staff get sacked, then Fergie should too. You don't get rid of all those and keep someone earning millions for a few speeches. Use the brain, says Gray. If Sir Alex Ferguson was forced out, then Ineos are a disgrace. If Sir Alex Ferguson said he needed to step back, then fair enough. It was an agreement that came between both Sir Jim and Sir Alex. That's all we need to know. And if Sir Alex is happy with it, we should be happy with it. Spot on, Fergie, always a legend, but don't need to be a key figure anymore. No, he doesn't. Let's see a few more comments coming in here. Christopher says he's not the manager anymore. It happened at Liverpool in the 80s. He's probably asking to leave because of his age, says Ander. There is all of these factors to bring into it. Paying Sir Alex Ferguson $2.1 million a year is a waste of money to me. It's time to move on from the Fergie era. It is. Please keep liking the video, everybody. We're creeping up to that 100 mark. I know it's a late show, and a few of you probably in bed. But we are getting the content out there. I didn't want to get through the day without doing our live show. Jack says it would have happened if it had been handled better if Fergie announced it. He was stepping down from his role. Hopefully they do like a little bit of a promo, bit of a video, thank you to Sir Alex Ferguson for his time and things like that, and just put it all to bed. There are bigger things right now for Manchester United fans to be concerned with. And that's what I want to move into next, actually, because there's plenty of reports flying around tonight and loads coming in regarding what's happening with Manchester United. Apparently, we are closer to a decision on the stadium as well. That's going to be coming next. Don't forget, in terms of the stadium, Manchester United, we're going to make an announcement on the plans and the definite plans for what we're doing, i.e., redevelopment or new stadium and so on and so forth. That was going to be coming in December, so not far away now. Probably about a month away from, not so much a month, no, sorry, probably a couple of months away now from getting an announcement on the stadium. If it comes sooner, it comes sooner, but it does look like they're working overtime on it right now, and the stadium decision and what's happening is going to be coming very soon, or we're going to know what's happening anyway. More concerning one would be story coming out from Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mirror. I'm just going to read this one out. Two recent transfer targets for Manchester United are having second thoughts about joining the club after seeing Erik ten Hag's side sink to 14th in the Premier League and the manager's face more uncertain over his future. Yeah, I mean, I would be. We've said this all along. And when we're talking about players that could come in, I said earlier on, like the likes of Alphonso Davies, like forget it, not a chance in hell. Leroy Sané, I don't like him anyway, but a good player, don't get me wrong, but right now I don't think United need wingers. Again, why would you go to Manchester United, that age of player, when you've got Champions League on tap right now and there's no guarantee of even playing in the Champions League, let alone winning it at the clubs that you are actually at, which is the truth in everything. Like, they've got a better chance of winning it. United can't even offer competing in it. So, no, that's not happening for them two players. I said that earlier on in the video today. But the worry and the concern is, and again, this is what's going to start happening now. If you're 14th in the league, you're scrambling around. It doesn't look like the club know what they're doing with the manager. Doesn't look like it's going to be a dead cert who's in charge. Because obviously, Ten Hag has his say on transfers. And if he's going into these negotiations alongside the football structure and doing his bit, pretty much like he did in the summer, he was contacting all of the players, communicating with Ineos. The structure was working right, and we were getting the players which we thought were the right ones for Manchester United at the time. Well, if Ten Hag's job is on the line, any communication or any sort of plan that he's trying to sell to any players coming in, then players are going to be like, and it might not even be the players, it'll be the agents telling these players like, hang on a minute, we don't even know if this guy's going to be in charge of Manchester United. We don't even know if he's going to have a job by the time you get there. What if another manager comes in and doesn't like you? Let's just hold off a little minute here with this, and let's see what happens with a managerial situation. So this again pushes into Ineos actually making a significant move in this department and making it clear to everybody who is going to be in charge. It clearly looks like they don't want Ten Hag as the manager, but we haven't got anybody else. So is this the concern as well? Something to think about? Like if Van Nistelrooy comes in as interim, our player's going to look at that and go, we don't even know if he's going to be the permanent manager. We don't know who the manager's going to be in the summer. So what are they going to sell these players? Then if more information is leaked to these players just to try and convince them, we get leaks out again, don't we? With agents knowing more than anybody. And then we start finding out before we should know about who the next manager is going to be. And all confusion starts to erupt amongst everyone at Manchester United. And the leak reports start coming out. Tough situation that didn't really need to be here right now. But it is, sadly. It is. And United are just stuck in it. And yeah, you've got to take everything into consideration when it comes to what's happening with transfers, what's happening with United in the manager situation. It all rolls into the same conversation, the same debate constantly. And it's a massive concern. And again, always the uncertainty factor. Always the problem for Manchester United, because people just want clarity that's never going to be there until you make that crucial decision. And that works for the players. It works for what the players are doing for the future. If they want to sign a contract, if they feel like Ten Hag is going to be in charge, like some of the current players might be thinking, I'm really not getting the game time I want here. If Ten Hag is still going to be here, then I might not sign this contract. And the players the same, like they probably want to know who is coming in. They might not like that manager, not just Ten Hag, for instance, because he's there now. The manager that we're talking about, like they might not like him. And the mass confusion amongst it all filters out onto the pitch, the uncertainty on the pitch, and Manchester United not looking like they've got a Scooby-Doo what they're doing on the pitch, then that's pretty much where you're at with it. It will come out that he wasn't sacked. A pullback on a lot of his activities, says Neil. England are the club heading for the championship, and not really a hard choice. Jack says it... Oh, sorry, I've already read that one out. Let's get through a few more comments because there's loads of them coming in. United's statement was clear. He'll still be non-executive director. It was amicable. What more do they want? Cantona, my guy, is overreacting. I don't think Cantona's read all the facts. I think he's maybe read the headline and he's just gone down the wrong road with it, really. He's writing what he says, like, Sir Alex Fergie should be able to walk wherever he wants to at Old Trafford. The old thing is, like, he just doesn't need that much money to do it. Andrew says he doesn't lose the respect of any fan. He will remain a legend. He will have a good package out of it. The main man, thank you for all of your service. Well said, Andrew. The Big Lebowski. It isn't different though. Lausanne, Nice, Team Sky, Mercedes, AMG. Every single one has gotten worse since Ineos took over. There isn't a single sporting organisation that they have made better, sadly. Were Nice really competing? Really? I don't know about that one. Team Sky, are we forgetting about the sailing team as well? Because they're quite successful. Look, you can look into it all you want and try and damn it down as much as you want. But This is Manchester United. They have employed the best that there is out there to run a football club. And we're now waiting for big decisions to come from them. But it is going to take time for us to see every bit of plan that they had. Everything that they had that they wanted to implement in their plans before they bought Manchester United. It's just going to take a little bit longer, I feel. And we're just going to have to be patient, sadly, with the whole plan of that. But one thing that we don't need to be patient with is the certain decisions that can be made right now. And again, not wanting to get into it, but like Ian says there, can't sack Erik ten Hag, but can sack Fergie. We are a joke. This is just a spin story put out in a very poor way. Of course, it's cost cutting. We are a business in debt and need to abide by buying and spending rules. It would be incompetent not to cut cost. Rajat also says, that was from Louise. Rajat says, how come Portugal can't beat Scotland when they top 8 team on FIFA? Don't know. Let Sir Alex enjoy his retirement. If they agree mutually, then it's okay. Of course it's okay. That's what we're taking from this. Thank goodness Tuchel is not going to be our manager. What's wrong with this club? We have a toxic fans who don't realise that the majority of the British press hate their club. No, we know everyone hates Manchester United. The problem we've got is, if you want to be ignorant to what's actually happening on the pitch and the football and the crap football that we're producing week in, week out, that's fair. But there's a lot of fans that are just sick to death of that. We know that the media don't like Manchester United. We know the media can't live without Manchester United for headlines. So we're not ignorant to that. We know what's actually going on. But it still doesn't mean that Ten Hag's the right manager. Let's see. Sané trying to escape the Harry Kane no trophy curse. Davis is a lad at Bayern. Dream on. He's going to Madrid. Yep, we already knew about that one. Free transfer in the summer. Sashi says, Tuchel to England goes to show he was not the man for Manchester United. He wanted full control on the squad, and he wasn't going to get it at United. Bullet dodged. I don't think it was full control. I don't think there was anything written in that, really. I think he just wanted the England job. Again, we'll see how that one pans out. I'm still not fully convinced that he will... how will he go down with the media? Like the international, like the English media, when it's talking about England and you've got a German in charge, that's going to be a bit spiky, isn't it? Let's see. Jarvis says, sacking the manager won't fix things. Our club and squad have deeper issues that need addressing. Don't be fooled. Patience is the only way forward. Sacking the manager won't fix things. No, sacking the manager will fix things right now, Jarvis. It will for me. I get what you're trying to say, and patience is key. I get it, mate. But Ten Hag isn't the man for Manchester United. He isn't. And I think he will be gone before... Christmas. It just depends what part. I just can't see things working. And when you've got players that are uncertain... Some people have been talking about players that are actually at Manchester United that have just been signed... who are uncertain about Ten Hag and are having second thoughts. I mean, you can't have second thoughts when you've already arrived. You're in. You're done. So deal with it. Start performing. If you like the manager or not, you've got to perform. I don't think that is necessarily the case, but you can see a lot of the players actually struggling with what Ten Hag is trying to put out there, what Ten Hag is trying to tell them to do. I just don't think the communication, I don't think it worked. I mean, where are you guys actually at with him actually going on holiday? Should you not be working with a lot of the players that weren't on international duty? Maybe doing something at Carrington? I don't know. It seems weird to me that all you players are out playing international football and grafting, and you're on a holiday having a break when you've got other players that are not actually on international duty. Quite a lot of players that are not on international duty that you could be maybe working a little bit harder with. Something doesn't sit right with me. That may just be me. That may just be me. I might be on my own with that one, but it just didn't work. Like, why would you want to go on holiday at this stage when your job's on the line? And I know people will say and come back to me and say, look, it was scheduled. He was always going away. Don't schedule it. You don't schedule a holiday 2 months into the season after you've just had the worst start ever. This isn't the start to a season where he said he dreams about being the bleeding chairman of FC20. I mean, and then he goes on holiday when we've just finished our worst start to a season ever in the club's history in the Premier League. You just don't know what I mean? It's like, read the room. Like, if we're going to have a go at Marcus Rashford for going out for his birthday after we've been beaten by City, then we can have a go at the manager for actually going on holiday and having a break. And I don't care what they say, he's working while he's away. No, he's not. He's on his sun lounger lapping it up somewhere. Maybe Ibiza again. I just don't like it. I don't. That doesn't sit well with me. That you should be at Carrington planning things out with your staff, going over everything. I guarantee that Ruud van Nistelrooy and Rennie Haar can't sat either side of him on the loungers, supping back the bleeding cocktails, are they? No, they're probably elsewhere. They're probably at Carrington training the players that he should be with and getting involved in. Like, it just doesn't look good to me. It doesn't. And I just think he's got everything mixed up and wrong. Adam, no, you're right. He should have been working. And Louise, you got a point too. Jarvis, it's not the right time yet. More issues need to be resolved before bringing a new manager. Making a premature decision now will set us back even further in the long run. Disagree again, mate. It's not premature. It's 14 months of shit. It's a season of our worst ever start in the Premier League, backed up by a season with our worst ever finish, backed up by our worst ever start to a season again. We broke the record 2 seasons in a row. It's not like this has just happened. It's a knee-jerk reaction. He's into his 3rd year and we haven't got a system. We haven't got a style of play. The players that he's bringing in he's not trusting, which he has got a big say on as well. And do you know what? Honestly, it's like some people saying that this is a knee-jerk reaction. It really isn't. It really isn't for me. This has been going on a long time now, so we can't say that, surely. Didn't Sir Alex Ferguson fail as an ambassador bringing in Klopp and Bellingham? Not worth the money Man United are paying him, in my opinion. How do you say that? Trey gave, maybe say it like that. Sorry. Would you take Ollie back for the rest of the season? No, I wouldn't. I would never go back. I'd never go back. It's just to say, look, you tried it once, it didn't work. Why would it work a second time? It won't. That's how I feel about it anyway. As a football manager, a player, you get less than 4 weeks off a year. Don't be ridiculous. As a football manager and a player, you get less than 4 weeks off a year. Don't be ridiculous. Well, no, you don't. That's a lie, because in the summer he'll have about 2 months off because there's no international tournaments or anything like that. So, yep, he'll get all of June. He'll get the most of July when everyone comes back. So, yeah, he's already had his little week now as well. So, yeah, no, it's not ridiculous at all. I think it's, everyone, so this is the thing. It's like you say that they don't get enough time off. Marcus Rashford's taking extra training sessions because he's obviously clearly not getting enough at Carrington. Why would you otherwise? Why would you feel the need to go out and do extra training when you're supposed to be training week in, week out? Why should Ten Hag get a holiday when the rest of the players are training and working? I know what I mean? Just like set a standard. That's what you have to do. If you want to live and breathe football, then you can do it from Carrington. You don't have to do it from a holiday. Just, again, all opinion. There'll be people that agree with me and people that don't. It's fine. Sack Erik Ten Hag and allow Ruud to take a caretaker till the summer. Sorting out the issues include Erik Ten Hag himself, and it would be impossible to sort them out with him trying to protect his ego in the process. Sorry, Jarvis. That was a response to Jarvis in saying that it's a knee-jerk reaction. Big Bad Phil is in the house. I don't think you can comprehend the stress and pressure he's under. You need a break for your mental well-being. Comprehend the stress that he's under. But everybody else has to know. I understand this. No, I'm not happy with him having a break. That still doesn't cut it for me. He's not like he's doing anything difficult right now while everyone else is on international duty. He could be just getting the players around. I just don't think he needs a holiday so closely after the one that he's just had in the summer. Does he? I don't know. I really don't. I just don't think it looks right. And I would, as a manager under pressure, be making that extra effort to make things right. That's what I would do. I want to be seen. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overreacting on that, and he needs a bit of time. I understand mental health and stress and issues like that. Maybe I'm overreacting on that. I've just looked at it and thought, just like set a bit of an example. But yeah, you know, you've all got a point. I'm not going to say that I'm dead right on that one. I can understand everyone's angle from it. Maybe I didn't look at the mental side of it for him. Really, right now, if I was a manager, I'd just be scrambling around to try and save my job a little bit more than what he is. Sadie's in the house as well. Not even 100 likes. Yeah, now he's got 100 likes. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate that. And yeah, that pretty much concludes the show, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It is a late one, not our usual schedule. I know there's football on, but I just wanted to get the content out there to make sure that you guys felt part of the day and still got your say as well. Hopefully you all feel like you did get your say in there. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you do give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all bright and early in the morning with more headlines, no doubt. We will see what's happening in the world of Manchester United then. But until then, have a great evening, everyone. And I'll see you all tomorrow.